Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage is MIKEKINGBIZ, the voice of RVA business media. At MIKEKINGBIZ, we celebrate the idea that business makes society better. On behalf of
MIKEKINGBIZ, the social enterprise brand on a mission. MIKEKINGBIZ.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic. Mike King here, coming to you from the MIKEKINGBIZ Call Federal Credit Union Media Center, powered by Icon Realty Group. Yes, our good folks down in Rockets Landing. So we're here. What we do is we're here every day, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can follow us on socials that way, which are Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as YouTube. And then we are on ESPN Richmond every Saturday from 6 to 7 a.m. What we do is we talk to the best and the brightest who are out here. There's an event that's having the streets buzzing. And now it Disrupt RVA. Now, I spent a lot of years in the Army, and folks would think that, I'm the buttoned up guy. No, I am not. I gave Uncle all that buttoned upness. This is what's left. But when I hear Disrupt RVA, that kind of concerns me. It does seem like that could be a little something, but we got the folks here who are making it happen. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us who you are, what you do.
So I'm Roxanne Brown. I'm the CEO of The Change Decision.
I'm Ed Cook. I'm the president of The Change Decision. And together we're the co-owners of Disrupt RVA.
Okay, so Disrupt RVA is it nationwide?
It's international, yeah.
It's international. How did that come to your radar, and why was it interesting?
Well, it actually landed in Richmond in 2017, and we just saw it on LinkedIn and on a whim. We just decided to go just to see what it was all about. But at that time, it was called Disrupt HR. And we had just started our business, and we were trying to understand what's going on in the Richmond area. And so we were really interested. And when we got there, we were really amazed at the energy there. One of the things that took us by surprise is the format of the small talks. They're 5-minute talks. But the energy of the crowd was really cool. And part of that was what we learned is that when you go to a Disrupt event, you don't sit back and be entertained. You have a job too, and that's to encourage the speakers. And that's because it's so hard. It's such a hard format, this speaking format that's required with Disrupt.
All right, so let's go back. Well, we're gonna come back to Disrupt. Tell us about your business, because you had talked about something that's kind of near and dear to me is joy. And I know times I could come and be the hokey one. I get that, But there people say there's no I in team. I'm like, yeah, there is, because if I don't do my job, your job gets harder. And you know what happens? We don't have joy on the team.
That's right.
And so we talked to us about the concept of what you do and the impact it has on a business.
Yeah, so the idea is that things are changing all the time. So we're guiding businesses through whatever kind of change you're doing. It could be a merger, acquisition, a new piece of technology. And you need to make that go well. But we want to go beyond that. So make that go well, and also, because of how you do it, have an impact on the culture, what we call growing joy at work. So it's beyond just achieving the basic goals of the project or the idea. It's constantly thinking as well about how are we feeding that forward into the culture and lifting everyone up. Because the idea is that people come with all their talents and all their concerns and all their good stuff and all their junk, and all that is coming in to play in the business. And if you're putting them into a joyful frame, then they're going to do better and the business is going to do better.
All right, sir. There are people who are naysayers, the bottom line folks who say, let's just chop, let's get to it.
Right.
There is a bottom line effect to organizations that get along. Mm-hmm. And so touch on that, because there are people who say, that's all that, mushy stuff, can't we all just get along? All that, and we're like, no, organizations that have that work better.
Mm-hmm.
They do. And that you talked about your experience in the Army. I was in the Navy, and I have an engineering background. I have all the credentials to be a curmudgeon.
Yes, sir, you do. Being in the Army, I'm like, okay, a Navy guy who, is an engineer, he wears suspenders and a belt.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying, for folks who don't understand that, there's double protection there.
That's
Nothing
right.
is going to happen.
Mhm.
But, I hope you experience this too, even when you're doing something that's very difficult, even if you don't want to be there, if you're there with a group of people and you come together in a certain way, you can do amazing things. And I never would have said the word joy while I was in the Navy, but it was when I look back on it.
When you look back in the moment, it's the worst. You're like,
Right.
man, I can't believe here. And then years later, you're going, hey, I wonder what happened to Jones. Remember that time we were doing that thing?
That's
My
right.
wife says when I go somewhere, when we get to another place, I'm like, oh, man, I miss that place. My wife's like, Mike, you were complaining about that. I'm like, oh, yeah, in the moment. But now you get away. You're able to put some time to it. And the military does put people together.
Yep.
Like you have to grow up together. In a business, you hire this person, and it doesn't have that kind of impact on you.
Right.
But you look back, the joy part does play a part in it.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right. And one of the things we do and have done since our origin story, which is back in 2013, is we've done interviews. We call this joy research. We ask executives and senior executives, CEOs, et cetera, what does joy at work mean to you, and how does it manifest in the organizations they lead? One of the things that's really fascinating is the people who describe their best team experiences always describe something that from the outside looking in looked impossible to achieve, or achieve in the way you did it, or some combination. So for us, the definition of joy in the work context is something specific as opposed to joy generally.
One of the things, so we had the conversation before, which is, adding joy to the conversation at work. Does it, we have the sales gurus or operations people. If we got to work at the people at the top, and they have to, insert it that way from the top down, trickle down effect. Or can it be a groundswell of the people that all of a sudden can force the change? Your thoughts, ma'am?
Well, I always felt like if I could, my presence at work could have an impact on the atmosphere of a team or whoever I was working with. And I always found that to be true. And so for me, I always thought, why wouldn't I try and make that a positive thing? Because, most of the things that I was doing was not life or death. When you talk about the military, that's a different thing. But when you're talking about regular, typical situations, why not make it joyful? Or why not make it at least positive, even if you're doing something difficult, or maybe especially if you are?
Can we gauge joy in an organization?
Oh, yes, you can. So,
really?
yeah. So that is something we've been working on.
Yeah, you can do that. You could do it yourself, right? You may not.
No, yeah, right.
You might not have a joy thermometer that can go around and check the joy level, but when you walk in for an organization if it is or it isn't. We're just trying to go to the next level,
right,
to actually create a bit of that thermometer. We don't want to get all the way to some weird quantitative thing, but we do want to have some measure of, is it getting better or is it getting worse?
Right.
Okay, so this comes from an Army guy asking a guy from the Navy. Does it turn at the pace of a battleship, or can it be like a speedboat?
Thank you for putting it in terms that I can understand.
Yes,
So
You can, for folks who don't understand, like me, I'm not the technical person, but I've heard you can't turn a battleship. Everybody says that.
But remember our origin story?
Yeah, it is.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, 1 second. Connie, can you get my sound machine, please? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Connie Hom. Oh, she was getting ready to go in front of the camera. When something good is going to happen, a story is going to be told. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the origin story.
So, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. And this must have to do with the Navy.
Well, so the origin story, I'll come back to your Navy analogy. So it can be fast. I mean, it can be a speedboat, but you have to bring the right conditions in. And so to tell our story, Roxanne and I are working on a very large, complex project in a very large organization, and it is going incredibly poorly. And
Publicly
Two
congratulations.
disgruntled employees looking over at each other, smiling like, man, we could do a better job than this.
so just everything's going wrong. The project was improperly scoped, and so at one point we had to go tell the CIO that we needed to double the budget. Going from a $30 million budget to a $70 million budget is not the kind of thing senior executives want to hear. People are disgruntled because of the extra pressure that's coming, and it's just been difficult all the way through. But the very low point comes when most of the managers within the company are all sitting together in a large auditorium together, and the CEO is addressing all of us, which he would do every year. Long all day, this is the direction of the company. And at one point, a slide goes up, and it's got 4 boxes on it. And they represent the 4 largest efforts that are going on in the company. He goes through the first 3 and talks about how much progress is being made and what we've learned and the good things that we're doing for customers. And then comes to the 4th one, the one that Roxanne and I are leading, and says, but there's just this one that's been a disappointment. And it felt like 5,000 heads all whipped around to look at us.
Want to get away?
To see what our reaction's going to be. And I really wish, Mike, I had this awesome hero's story for you afterwards about how I dug deep and I pulled up forward.
I've been there, so yes,
to do it. That is not what happened. What happened is I started working on my resume because I was sure that the CEO, who has no idea who I am, could knock me over in the hallway and not know that he just said that the thing I'm leading is a disappointment. If that's where he is, then there's no way I'm going to be successful in this company, and I need to get out. But Roxanne convinced me to do something else.
Right.
So she took me through what we now call a leadership intention interview, which basically had me go back and think about my best team experience and what were all the things I wanted to do on this team. What was I going to take from my best team experience and apply to this team? And then she went and interviewed all the people on my leadership team, asking them basically the same question, but then showing them what I said I wanted. When we're successful, this is how I'll know. And they were surprised because that's what they wanted too. But that is not what was going on within the program.
Right.
And it was obvious that things had changed. This is the speed part for you. The very next week, on Friday, get the whole group together. There's about a dozen of us, and it's on Friday in this company. And this is, even before Zoom, but people even back then would phone it in, literally phone it in right there at home in their jammies on their phones. Roxanne and I, and usually a couple others, would be in the room. And on this particular day, I'm rushing into the room because this is also back in the time we used to have those incredible 16-digit codes you had to dial into the phone in order to get in. And I'm the guy with the code. And I'm late because some other executive has grabbed me and wanted to know what's going on with the program and why things were off. And so I'm literally jogging into the room, and I come into the room and I stop because everyone is physically in the room. And even more impossible for this particular group, all of the laptops are closed because this is not how this group runs. They're usually open and they're all working, and they're all looking up at me, all waiting to see what we're going to do next because they have heard Roxanne describe what I said I wanted, and it matches what they want, and they want to see, is this really going to happen or not? And so that's the beginning of a complete turnaround. So that went from being a big disappointment to being the biggest turnaround within the company. And our engagement scores as measured by the company were well into the 90s, 94, 95%.
For 18 months.
For 18 months for a company that typically has 72%. And a goodly number of the people that were working on that program knew that at the end of the program, they would not have a job because of all the changes that we made as a result of implementing all this new technology and changing all these policies and all of these procedures. And yet we were still at this unbelievably high engagement score. That is joy at work. The other thing that goes with that is at no point in any of that did any element of the entire program get easier. No. It remained very difficult. I was on the phone every single day at 5 p.m. to talk to our software vendor about what were they doing to go fix all the problems that we have. We wrestled this thing into submission to get it in there. So it was very difficult work all the way through. But the team had the highest engagement of any team I'd ever been part of before that. And this is a big group. It's like 250 people that are impacting about 10,000 of the employees in the company who are now going to do things differently as a result of this program. And that radiated out to the millions of customers. That was actually unexpected. We weren't expecting to have any impact on the customers. But because they felt it, the employees felt it, those 10,000 employees felt it, the customers felt it. And on the day we were actually implementing these things, more customers were coming in because they wanted to see how it was going. Because people were talking about, hey, we got this cool thing coming. You actually kind of want the opposite. You sort of would prefer less customers to come in while you kind of work out the kinks of the system. But they wanted to go talk to people and see what was happening.
That's why you did conversions on Friday.
Conversions on Friday.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
You can peek on, Lord, is it okay?
Right. That's exactly
So
right.
let me go back to one of the great parts about having a show is you get to have your own therapy sessions. So during that, you're at a difficult time.
Yeah.
You've been called out. It must have been something when you come in and you see everybody there and everybody's stuff is not like they're ready to work.
Yeah.
Like we're all in this boat together. At what point, like you say, the work never got easier.
Right.
It was still tough. But the mindset, when did you start to see we might have turned a corner on this thing? Was it a one-time thing, or was it like over the course of a little bit of time?
So I think I'm trying to remember the exact timeline, but I know it happened fast. I knew there needed to be certain things that happened at certain times to kind of build and solidify that, okay, we were making a shift here. And so we started with leadership, like we were talking about before, which is Ed and the folks that, are with him on this leadership team. And so for what I could tell about the entire 250 people is that the teams who work for each of these groups felt comfortable with their own manager, but not across the teams.
Okay.
And they were kind of like, I called it like fiefdoms.
Yes. It's my little world.
Right. I'm fine. If you guys would just figure it out, we'd be great, but I'm fine.
It's
So
the
it was that
difference
kind of
between
thing.
sales and marketing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
that same thing.
It is. And so it was that. And so I needed to find a way to bring the group together. And so there would be these signals that came out that, oh, yeah, you can trust so-and-so. And just those, you can't really, they're not tangible. Some of these things are, like acts, like an all hands meeting is a great, like symbolic moment where you can have different things happen and show people that, oh, the leaders are actually getting along. But it's that plus all the little things that they're picking up on. And so that takes a commitment. So one of the things that we talk about with leaders is you have this great intention, which is great. And, oh, you're seeing a difference already in the folks who you lead with. That's great. But don't slide backwards. Don't get lazy. Keep moving forward with that pressure. Because as soon as you slide back, they'll be like, oh no, what they said isn't true. It was just something they said. Does that make sense?
Yes. You're from the HR world? Sort of, kind of?
Sorta. I never was in HR. I was always in the business because change, which is my background, is a business problem, less an HR problem. It seems like an HR problem, but change is really about, are you achieving the business result? And you're focusing on the people aspect of it, which
Gotcha.
for many changes.
How can people get the information about your company?
Oh, just go to our website, thechangedecision.com.
Okay. We're going to get to disrupt. We are. I promise you. You didn't know you were sitting down for all this. What does an engagement look like with you guys? And what's the deliverables on the back end?
You want to take that?
Yeah, the company's going through, they have a change coming. Okay, and it could be any flavor of change. It could even be things are fine just as they are in terms of what we're doing, but I don't like how the culture is. I want to change the culture. And so we'll work with the leaders and start off with a typical consulting thing, do a bit of an impact assessment. So like what's really going on here? So that's standard. Everybody does that. What is different is that we're going to do it not just for the thing, but for the culture. So where are you in terms of joy at work within your organization? And then not only put in the tactical elements that you need to do in order to help you through this change, but the other parts that need to happen in order to achieve joy at work. We'll then work with the leader, coach the leaders, like in the more of a sports coach idea of coaching the leaders through how to implement the thing that they say that they want. And then we'll also work throughout the rest of the company and become a way to short circuit some of the information so that we can help them to understand how well is it going. Because that can be difficult. Like people may not be that comfortable to tell their leaders directly about what's working and what isn't.
No, they ain't telling them.
Mhm.
Like in the military, you don't. So the Navy band came, and it was for not Fleet Week. What's the other one called? When it's not Fleet Week, they do it on like in towns not right by the water.
Okay.
So they came here and they were talking to me and they were saying, all right, so it was the band. And I said to them, like, who's in charge of the band? Like an E7?
Yeah.
And they're like, no. They said a master chief. Now that means nothing to me. A master chief is the highest level you can go.
Right.
And I looked in the camera like, excuse me, master chief. Sorry, sir. I'm telling you, I didn't know. I didn't know they walk on water. That's what, in the Army, there's sergeant majors.
Right.
They get that part. Oh, it's something that you give them the respect of what they do. It is hard putting culture in place, but when you get it, the teams run.
Yeah.
All right, so we're wrapping this up right here, this therapy session. And really quickly, when did you guys know when you started a business as an idea? When did you know you had something?
Oh, gosh, I think it was when we got our first year-long contract.
Whoa.
And that was pretty quick. I was contacted, I was referred, and I remember when I first got the call, I wasn't really sure I wanted this business because it was kind of a mundane change implementation, and I was really skeptical about, were they just looking to delegate the change to me, or what was it they really were looking to do? And I realized through this conversation that the relationship of the HR department, which is who contacted me, and all of the managers throughout the company could change through how this system implementation was done. I was like, okay, now I'm interested.
That's different.
It was different. And so I did this impact assessment that I was talking about, flat fee, and that's where we start. And then I gave them a change plan as part of that, right? And what we always do is say, you can take this and run with it. That's how we write it. Or you can fully delegate it to us and we'll staff up for that. Or we can just be on call, right? We offer those options. And when we got the first, all right, we want you to do everything, I called Ed and I said, well, here we go.
This is it.
Here we go.
This is working.
It was great. Yeah.
We're a big boy, big girl business now.
That's
because
right.
it really does come down to how you see yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not how others see you. Because you're like, these people, they're going to pay us. Like,
Yeah.
You're shocked. And they're like, yes. And so as we move into disrupt, talk about the rich man. I know, sorry. You didn't know this was all this. I'm getting my money's worth out of this.
Okay.
You better believe it. So talk about the Richmond business scene, where we are now from the time you started it, what's changed, the good parts about the things that people would be shocked at.
I have to say that I feel like when we started our business, we were really lucky because there were things going on in Richmond that I think they were sort of new at the time, like all of the startup kind of energy that was happening. So I really felt very excited. Like I was grateful for it. One of the things that was a signal of that was Gather.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So when we first came onto the scene, I looked at offices and really there was very little, at least not with the energy that we were looking for and to be around. And the only Gather at the time was on Main Street.
I remember that when people used to meet, we used to go to the meetings in the basement.
Yes.
Right.
We used to go to the meetings in the basement.
Right. But then I heard about the one that they were building in Scott's Addition. And so I was like, oh, that's where we need to go. I mean, stuff was happening back then in Scott's Addition, still is, but it was really new. And so we went and did a tour and we signed a contract. It was not even walls up, but I wanted the office up front so that I could be with the energy of the people up front, because I knew I needed. I was going to start it first. And I was hoping Ed would come later, but we had to figure out how that was going to go financially, all that stuff. But yeah, that's where we started. That was a sign for us of what was going on in Richmond for small business.
Shout out to Polly and Doug White. They were others when they backed me. It really made a difference because they're visionary leaders who do a lot and have really changed the community. Alrighty, folks, we're getting to the point now where Disrupt RVA. The date of that is
September 22nd.
And what can people expect?
They can expect a very high energy event. So they will walk in and there'll be great food and great booze. So we'll start off with that.
Okay, one second.
You want to write that down, Mike?
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to do the clap right through that right there. I've never been to one, but it seems like it would be like a TED Talk on steroids.
Yeah, it's got that. It's got that kind of impact approach, right? The idea is to have an idea that makes you sit up and want to listen to what's going on. The format is much briefer, so it's 5 minutes, 20 slides. Each slide is on a 15-second timer.
Yeah.
So the slides are going whether you're ready or not. So we prep our speakers to practice, just like you do for a TED Talk, so that it does come out smoothly. But with that format, it's almost impossible to do it perfectly every time. People will make a mistake and mess up. So that's where the audience comes in. Their job is to energize the speakers, not to sit back and just listen, but to clap, encourage them if they do make a mistake. So because they have something to say, something important to say, we want to make sure that it's going to come out.
So who are the speakers? Are they entrepreneurs? Who is in there talking, bearing their soul?
It's everyone. So we do a call for speakers every year, and we tell people what we're looking for, and we can give them all kinds of examples because all of the speeches are recorded and they're put on the main Disrupt HQ website and then our own website. So we have a website for every year dedicated so people can see the 5-minute talk anytime. And so, they're able to see what we're looking for. There are no pitches. You're not allowed to pitch a product or a service or a company because that breaches the contract that we are making with the audience. The whole idea is to bring an idea about what work could be. So it's not about pitching, it's about the idea and inspiration.
I like that. I do, because it's something people can be original. The idea of being on a timer would be kind of terrifying. So because, it's like, you have to know what you're talking about. But congratulations to you guys. Tickets are available. I would guess.
Tickets are available. Go to disruptrva.org and push the button and you can get a ticket.
Sponsors. Hold on 1 second. We got sponsors.
That's right. We have been fortunate to have some great sponsors, always looking for more sponsors because all the extra money, whatever is in excess of the expenses for the event, go to a nonprofit. This year, it's going to the Well Collective.
Shout out to Ashley who's out there. You seem like one of the reasons that I do this program is because I say that business can help society be better. You guys just seem like those kind of people. And it was something when I got here, that whole down at Impact Makers and Annika with the whole beekeeper movement. I'm like, okay, this is, so it is something. There are a lot of nonprofits that need help out there. And you guys are doing that. So you can just tell when people are doing it and you get that. So congratulations to you guys. Like I said, you can come back again as we get closer. We always show love to sponsors. Yes, we do. Because it's, it's how it does. My dad would always say, changing the world ain't cheap, easy, or free. Money got to change hands somewhere.
That's right.
And when people are doing things like Ashley and the Well Collective, it's great that you guys are behind them. Where's your build? Where are you guys located?
We are located in Rockets Land.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We're the cool people.
Yeah,
That's right.
Of course, we're the cool. All right, Katina and Robert Jones. Yes, these are your neighbors down in Rockets Landing. And I saw you guys riding up the street, and I saw your cool car. I used to have a cool car until my grandkids. I had to get an SUV, but I was a car guy, and I bought this little BMW. I didn't know it wasn't a real SUV. It was like a little bit bigger station wagon.
Okay.
Because when I went to put a bike in there, it couldn't fit.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I
Hey.
didn't. Yeah, but tell people real quick the kind of car you have, because I saw you guys on the street.
Yeah, we have a Mini
It's-
Cooper convertible that is key lime green.
Can't miss it.
Can't miss it. And we refer to it as the Limey. Get a key lime. It's also a British car, so it's a double entendre.
Good friend Jenny Kirby used to rock one of those
Oh yeah.
back in the day. I've never been cool enough to have Mini Cooper. I just love them. But then when I seen it lime green, and I'm riding here, I see it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I get up and you guys are waiting. I'm like, I should have known. I should have known. So, on the mic, Mike, one last time, how can we get information about Disrupt?
Go to disruptrva.org and you get it there. There's also a Disrupt RVA LinkedIn page. You can get all the information on the LinkedIn page as well.
Yeah, one other thing I wanted to give a shout out to Lost Office Collaborative, also out there at Rockets Landing. That's where all of our events are happening this year.
I just saw that the other day.
Yeah.
When you get off you come around and loop by the restaurant.
Yes.
That
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fantastic
It is
space.
a very fantastic space.
It's
You
great
need
for
to check it
Disrupt.
out.
So what are the different businesses in there?
They are the only business in there, but what they do that's different, they're not just renting out space. If you want to have an event, they will help you craft the event. They will facilitate the event, and
Yeah.
they are some interesting, creative, energetic people. So if you want to do something different than just a boring business meeting, those are the people to go talk to.
As they say.
The new campus at Bryant and Stratton College strengthens relationships with our employers because it strengthens our talent pipeline within Chesterfield County. Employers gain access to well-prepared graduates ready to contribute to the workforce in the county.
We are so excited that with the YMCA and Bryant Stratton College that we've got the opportunity to support student learning. It is so wonderful to have this new campus here in the Richmond and Chesterfield area. There is accessibility to connect the business community alongside of the campus. So for the student, it really provides a well-rounded experience because I think there's the opportunity to grow and to be able to grow the offerings at the campus.
We are so fortunate. Our employer and community partners recognize that by working with Bryant and Stratton College, they're helping to train their future employees. The space really reflects what our employers are telling us that they need from our graduates. Employers impact our curriculum, they impact our clinical sites and internships. They are a partner with us as we educate our students.
I think from the perspective of keeping the campus with a regional focus, so in Chesterfield, serving and pulling from the Richmond community as well. Our entire region is focused on workforce development. We are focused on helping people reach their highest potential, and the education pipeline to the workforce development pipeline is absolutely critical. So the access to the classes, the experiences, it's an amazing campus that support education and provide more access to opportunity and grow the partnerships because of the new location.
I am so proud that Bryant and Stratton College, its graduates, its students, and its associates get to positively impact the Chesterfield-Richmond community. When I'm out and about and I see our graduates at work celebrating the profession that they studied with us, I just can't tell you what that means to me.
You are here, helping us give everyone the chance to live a longer, healthier life, free from breast cancer. You are survivors, you are thrivers and supporters. You are the heartbeat of the #1 breast cancer movement in the country. You are making strides against breast cancer.
Making Strides Walk of Central Virginia at Monroe Park on October 17th at 9 a.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic. Mike King here, coming to you from the Call Federal Credit Union Media Center, powered by Icon Realty Group. We got my man back in the building, the most interesting man in the world, Mark Bowen. And as you could tell, lady on his right, I think, good friends, the Virginia Down Syndrome Association is in the building. Those are my people. They're back again with some exciting news that's happening today. Mark Bowen, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Mike. Good to be here.
All right, tell us who you are, what you do.
My name is Mark Bowen. I manage Westchester Commons in Midlothian, right on the corner of 288 and Midlothian Turnpike. And as you said, we've got lots going on. And as promised, I can make an announcement today.
Are we going to do it right now?
Whenever you like.
You know what? Let's introduce our family who came with us.
And as you say, we do have a lot going on. I do have a special announcement of somebody new coming in. But we also do have the Westchester Concert Series going on this summer. We're now past the halfway point. And coming up on Thursday, August the 20th, we have a brand new band.
Which is today.
No,
it's next week.
Next Thursday.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We'll talk about today later.
We're going to talk about it another time.
And that band is Brass Wind, and they are former and current military musicians and music teachers out of the Peninsula, Newport News, Hampton area. They are very horn heavy, and so you can expect a lot of Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire and really cool stuff, but it's going to be a great time. And all of our events do benefit a local nonprofit, and next week on the 20th is...
Hold on.
Is the Virginia Down Syndrome Association, and with me today is their volunteer coordinator and assistant program director, Cheryl Castle.
So welcome back. Hold on a second. You know, we only pull out the top sound equipment for family. You know, everybody else might just get a yay. Cheryl, welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Mike. Thank you very much.
It has been a while since we talked. A lot of things happening over there. All cool things are over at VDSA.
Yes.
So tell us what you do.
Well, I am the volunteer coordinator and assistant program director for the Virginia Down Syndrome. And Mark, we are humbled that Mark has invited us again this year to join the concert on August the 20th. And the idea of us going is that we benefit the lives of individuals with Down syndrome and their families through family support, education, community awareness, and advocacy. So all of the funds that'll come in with this fundraiser goes to this. We're committed to our children with Down syndrome, and it's our passion, and all of us.
That is what you guys
excited,
do.
Yeah.
And they always say what you guys say, from twinkle to wrinkle.
We go from twinkle to wrinkle.
See, I've been around them a long time.
Yes.
I like that one. That one stopped me in the tracks, because
yes.
A lot of time when we think of Down Street, there's a lot of programs for young people.
Yes.
But then when they get older,
right,
what happens to them? So I see your folks are getting married. You guys got some love going on over there.
We do. We just finished our work conference, where we had 8 individuals learning what it is to be on the workforce, and Amy, our educational coordinator, trained them, and they went on the job sites, and they just graduated last week. So
congratulations to all the folks there. So, Mark, this is Westchester's commitment to the community. They talk about that all the time, and it showcases what you guys do.
Well, it tells and physically shows our customers that we're supporting those organizations in our immediate community that are doing good in the community. And I tell all the nonprofits and the groups that are involved with us that, you know, yes, it's a fundraiser, and it grows the longer you stay with us, but make sure you know that it's also a friend raiser, because it gives you the opportunity to tell your story and to introduce yourself to new people and to really introduce your constituents to the general public. And it shows our customers what these organizations are doing.
It's awareness, Mark. It's definitely awareness.
Yes. And so hopefully you'll be able to garner more friends and donors and volunteers and individuals that want to be involved with you, whether they give of their time, talents, or treasures.
Correct.
There we go. And That is the 20th.
August 20th. Yes.
August 20th, and that's what we will be out there raising money for Virginia Down Syndrome Association. And the band is?
Brass Wind.
Brass Wind.
Hampton Roads.
Okay. Mark Bowen, it's always great. How can people get information about Westchester and the series?
Well, all of our events are always on our website at shopwestchestercommons.com. You can always go to our Facebook and Instagram pages. They're always on there as well. And I do want to give Cheryl an opportunity to talk about what's happening coming up this Thursday. Actually, today for the golf tournament.
Yes, actually on the 13th of August, which is day after tomorrow, it is Thursday, at Sycamore, we are having a golf tournament. It's called T21 Golf Tournament.
Okay,
And
T21.
T21.
I know.
Okay, tell
It's
me.
the chromosomes.
That's correct.
See, that's
That
what it is.
correct.
And that's why we're always rocking the socks
And
on.
we rock the socks and we step up, which will be on October the 24th. It's our 20th anniversary, and we're so excited and pumped up, as well as we have other step up, which for Down syndrome in Hampton Roads and in Harrisonburg. So we are really, yes, we're really pumping up the step up awareness. Yes.
Because I think around here there's a big presence. You guys have a big presence, and people feel. But I would think when somebody you getting out in, I don't want to call it no man's land, but okay, no man's land, a person may feel like we're in this thing by ourselves.
Yes, we've had that, and that's why we have 5 other communities. We have 5 community coordinators that take on the Down Syndrome Association representation, and they do the same thing: events, fundraisers, and everything.
That is good. So, Mark Brown, hold on. You have some news for us, correct?
I do have some news.
Hold on one second. And this goes along with it.
We're getting ready to start ringing the cash register.
Cash register.
Completely unrelated from the concert series. We do have we have a couple new restaurants coming, and one that I spoke with right after our show last week said that I could officially announce it, and I told him that I was going to break it on your show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Bowen, breaking news here. We went to 60 minutes ticker, but we don't have that in the budget. All right, so who you got coming?
So it's a local restaurateur. He is stepping out from underneath the wings of his parents and creating Hibachi Foodie, which is going to be stir-fry dishes, and it's going where Which used to be, right next to Mathnasium and McAllister's, but rice dishes, noodle dishes. It's going to be a really, really cool concept, but it's brand new to Richmond and something that he's very, very excited about.
Okay.
So Hibachi Foodie.
Nice.
Hibachi Foodie. And the restaurateur's name is?
His name is...
Do we need him?
No, he goes by Scott, but his name is Hansu.
Well, Mark Bowen knows the coolest people. So
That's exciting.
Exactly. So the idea of it, you already had a all-star lineup. Now this just adds to it.
Yes. And so it's really a concept we don't have. We have similar with the bowl and with Takara ramen, but this is totally like stir-fried dishes. So it's prepared in a different way. So it'll be quick serve. You can eat in, you can take out. So probably open by October, maybe early November. So they've just started construction, but they're taking a second generation space, which was Which, and turning it into a Hibachi Foodie.
There you go. Always big things happening. Where are we with the real estate action? Are there any homes left?
Well, they are. There will always be homes until they're completely gone. There's a total of 168 townhomes coming. So the first 65 have been built. 64 have been sold in the first pad. They're already started on the next 47, and they've already sold 7 of those. They're not even finished yet, and they've already sold 7. So really a total of 71 townhomes have been sold, and they continue to go up. And of course, our friends across the way, even though it's not our property, we'll give a shout out to the Air at Westchester, which is the townhome project. It's 2,200 homes that are being built.
That's crazy.
And we welcome all their residents as customers.
their friend, their family. Just come on over. Yeah. Oh, we got to give a shout out to the sponsors. You know me, near and dear to my heart.
I appreciate
the
that
series.
Very much. And of course, the Westchester Concert Series is coming up next Thursday, the 20th of August. It is presented by the Edge at Westchester by Stylecraft and supported by Brown Distributing, James River Cellars, Mix 98.1, and Brick House Diner.
There you go. Yep. All amazing folks. Shout out to them for sponsoring the series. Sir, I want to say you want to get a degree in meteorology. You're doing pretty good. We're knocking on wood.
A little bit of spit of rain in a couple
But it doesn't matter, regardless how hot it is, because
we always have that sweet Virginia breeze.
I like that.
Yeah. But for a lady from like New Orleans area, this isn't hot to you.
No, well, it's
a different.
It's a lot more humid.
The humidity factor
is off the charts.
And I don't want you to get jealous, but I just came back from New Orleans a couple of weeks ago.
New Orleans folks are different.
I'm already very into that.
That's like they got the coolest thing. So you came here for your grandson. Is that part of it?
Yes, I moved from New Orleans here to Richmond to be close to my two grandchildren. Well, actually 3. I have one in Alexandria, but he's 15, 16 already. So, but yes, I came to be very close to David, that has Down syndrome, and I've been volunteering with them for the last 6-7 years. I would fly down for all the events.
You're like, I might as well.
I was a volunteer. I was a presence
from New Orleans.
Many years. Yeah, I'd come in and I'd volunteer, I'd help out, and family time, and the opportunity came up to apply. I did, and thank goodness I was welcomed.
You are, yes, you are welcome, and everyone knows you. That's the thing, and the work that you guys do is amazing. That's why that's my crew.
We have a fantastic crew. We really do, and we all just pitch in and work together, and that's what makes us strong and what we are today.
There you go. How can people get information about Virginia Down syndrome?
We can go to our website, virginiadsa.org, and that's our website, and there you'll see all our happenings, our events, our newsletters, everything that goes around our world.
There you go, Mark Bowen. Anything else?
Just come on out to our concert series. We still have 4 more. The next one, August 20th, with BDSA and the band Brass Wind. So it's going to be a great new band. I can't wait for everybody to see them.
There you go, Mark Bowen.
And I can't wait for everybody to come and enjoy the music and relax and kick back, have a beer, have a glass of wine.
Because you guys get the money for it. You're out there, be out there stretching, for that time. It's the mad dash for cash.
It's fun times. It is fun times.
On Mike with Mike, I'd like to thank you for coming. Take care, folks. Thanks, and I'll see you.
Thank you.
This is Petersburg today. This is Petersburg getting together as a family and making sure our residents are taken care of.
Today, citywide, we're providing groceries for our community. The reason behind the food distribution is all of these cuts and food stamps, so we have to make sure that our community is fed and fed well. The need is so broad, but the city of Petersburg has come together to provide and serve. It's all about service here.
Community service never ever stops.
People gave to me.
All right.
It was once where I had nothing, and people poured to me. So I like to give back to others.
It makes other people feel good. It makes us feel good. Everybody needs some help at some period of time.
This will occur once a month for the next 6 months, every first Monday of the month, and then in mid-month, we will serve our own senior communities, which are 5 individual facilities.
Everybody need a hand up, not a hand down, but a hand up, and we're here to lend a hand up.
It's what we stand for, but most of all, this is my ministry.
God bless.
It started with family. I mean, we all lived in the same neighborhood. We made sure that our neighbors were fed. We made sure our neighbors were taken care of. And when I moved to Petersburg 23 years ago, it's like moving from family and back into a family environment. The arms opened really, really wide for me, and I can't say anything other than thank you, Petersburg, for all you do, and that's why I do what I do.
When you have to make financial choices, it's nice to have a partner to help you make the right call. That's a great idea. Let's do this. Call Federal Credit Union. Your best call.
Hi, my name is Jillian, but everybody calls me Jill. I'm a cheerleader, a student, and the voice.
And I'm the champ, Desiree, aka Lifestyle Desi. I'm a national champion boxer.
And this is Mind Over Match,
where we talk with student athletes, coaches, experts all over Central Virginia
about everything that comes with sports, the highs, the injuries, the pressure, and how to balance it all.
Catch Mind Over Match
on the MIKEKINGBIZ Media Network, including ESPN Richmond Radio.
Look at you or look at the camera?
I don't know. We're just going to be talking.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic. Mike King, coming to you from the palatial offices of Icon Realty Group /ERA. We're here today talking to Jennifer Montague. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So it's either I'm going to your city down in Colonial Heights.
Oh, okay.
Is that where?
Okay, Chester. We're in Chester.
Chester. I knew it's one of those down there.
Listen, we are in 98 communities throughout Central Virginia, so we're all over.
And
yeah,
she is
offices in Chester.
And she is on the road providing information leadership as the COO president of Columbia Gas of Virginia. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so tell us who you are and what you do.
So you already said my title, Mike.
Yes.
Jennifer Montague, and I, Columbia Gas of Virginia, we provide safe and reliable natural gas to, again, 98 communities throughout the state. And really today I'm here to talk about 811, because today is today August the 11th or it's August 10th?
It's tomorrow.
10th. Tomorrow is going to be 811.
Because I have Dig in my office.
There we go.
Dig is in the studio. And we talked about what that means, like be careful, all the things.
Yes.
We don't see the hidden dangers of just digging willy-nilly.
That's right. So tomorrow is 811 day, and the reason we celebrate it on 811 is because we want people to call 811 before they dig. And you just talked about, the hazards of digging willy-nilly. We really want to make sure that people stay safe, that when they dig, if they're doing a special project in their house, they're planting a garden, they're putting in a new patio, whatever they're doing, you're supposed to call 811 at least 3 days before you start digging, so you don't end up hitting a gas line and causing a leak and just creating an unsafe environment. So that's really what we want.
One of the things, so your team came in and they talked about natural gas, how dangerous it is. And we always say, natural gas smells like rotten eggs. That's and right. We're like, but it doesn't really. That's a safety precaution that was put in.
That's right. So actually, natural gas is a colorless, odorless gas. And we deliberately put mercaptan in it, which smells like natural eggs. Which smells like rotten eggs. So people then can realize, ooh, there's something wrong. But we do that because we want people, if they smell that, we want them to know, and we want them to do, we want them to contact us immediately. But this 811 is so people don't have to do that they don't have to hit a line and they don't have to smell the rotten egg smell, that they can contact us. And there's actually markings on the ground, Mike. I think the markings there's markings for different utilities, but ours are yellow. So you should see markings on the ground for the utility. Sometimes the rain takes them away, but that's why it's always safe to call 811 before you dig. And it just takes a few minutes. And it's actually also the law. You're supposed to do that.
Oh, it's the law. It's not suggested.
It's not suggested.
It's not. You're not suggesting you do this.
That's right.
We're telling this is what you should do.
It's really for safety.
Yeah, because it is something for people when they hit a line, catastrophic things can happen. Mm-hmm. So Jennifer is here. How can people get information about Columbia Gas?
So if they want information about Columbia Gas, and especially if they're struggling to pay their bills, I know sometimes the month is longer than the money. So if people are struggling to pay their bills, they can reach out to Columbia Gas, columbiagasva.com, and they can look at our energy assistance programs. Now is a good time to be looking at our energy assistance programs, or they can just call our number to talk if they're having a hard time paying their bill. There are programs available, LIHEAP, there's programs to help out with energy efficiency if they want to make their home a little bit more less leaky and actually conserve energy. So we have all kinds of programs. So they should reach out to us really before they
We
get
know
in trouble.
that you guys provide the gas for us. There's so many other things that you guys do as a community champion sponsors and helping people. So you had an ambassador program?
We did. We just wrapped up our third. This is the third time we did it. Our youth ambassador program.
Okay.
And this one I'm very proud of, Mike. So these are students from Petersburg.
Okay.
This year I believe we had 23. We've had varying numbers, as many as 30, but it's an 8-week long paid internship.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Which is a beautiful thing. These are for high school juniors and seniors. And they spend 8 weeks with us. We partnered with the nonprofit organization 2Hype, which Pastor Lamont Hobbs helped organize that program. But we partnered with them. And they basically, for 8 weeks, they learned what it's like to have a career in energy. They heard from a variety of people. They talked to the engineers, they talked to the field workers, they talked to people in cybersecurity and marketing, regulatory, our energy assistance program, our energy efficiency programs. So they really learned a wide variety. They talked to legal, and that's one thing that I want young people to know, especially in the community, is that having a career in energy, one, it pays really well. But two, there are a wide variety of jobs that you can have. And that's one reason why we wanted these youth ambassadors to learn about this program. So they've done that. And again, it was third year, and I was really proud of them. At their graduation, Mike, we had not only did we have the Virginia Chief Energy Officer come and speak to them. And that's Chief Josephus Almond, who's in Spanberger's organization, so he got a chance to come and speak to them. We had someone from a delegate's office, and then we had, oh my goodness, she is Miss Virginia International, came and spoke to them. So it was nice to be able to, have that program come to.
There's so many opportunities that we don't even think about. Mm-hmm. Like most people would not think about careers in energy.
That's right.
And so, but one, you're sort of the poster child of what it can do. Because one, it's just people in the community. Another, it's women. I see the events that you go to, mm-hmm. And for a younger person who's never been in that world, those are opportunities that somebody else gets, or
right.
Maybe we don't even never hear about them. Explain why that's so important to you and Columbia Gas.
Well, you're talking about women, but I mean, the representation of women and the representation of people of color, yes, is important to us at Columbia Gas. And we actually do a really good job of that in terms of representation. But you are right. The awareness of the types of jobs that are available, the fact that there are jobs available, and energy, it's not really sexy. People don't think of it as exciting.
It is not.
But I will say, Mike, it is foundational to everything that we do. You want to, stay warm in the wintertime, you need energy. You want to be able to cook your food. If you've got natural gas, you do that. You want to be able to, heat your clothes, dry, wash and dry your clothes. You got that. And then on the electric side, all of the things, we wouldn't be able to have this video if it weren't for electricity.
True.
We wouldn't be able to, you want to flip on your lights. You want to be able to watch your video games. You want to be able to watch, whatever you're watching. I'm watching House of Dragons right now. But whatever you want to watch, and all of the artificial intelligence that's coming into place, that is all foundational, right? None of that can happen. Energy is really the foundation of the ability of all those things to happen. So that's one reason why I want young people to realize energy is really foundational. And like I said, it's from a career standpoint, you can make you can make really good money working for an energy company. And it can be for us with Columbia Gas, you can work for Virginia Natural Gas, you can work for Dominion. There are lots of, and there's, wherever you go in the US, there's going to be an electric company, a gas company, a water company. I want young people to realize that these options are available for them.
One of the things that you also do is supporting the community. You open your facility up and the talent you have there is amazing. What's it like when kids or people are coming? They don't know what to expect.
Right.
And then they get there, and it's like, wow.
Right. So we have a couple of different programs where we do that. So we have a Introduce a Girl to STEAM Day, and these are 3rd and 4th graders, and they come. This is usually in the first part of the year, and they come and they see our safety town. They get a chance to see a blue box experiment where there's like a little explosion. So they basically see what happens with natural gas if it reaches an ignition source. And it really does open up their eyes, and they start to think, oh, this is kind of interesting. We also have them do exercises where they actually get to sort of map out like a little pipeline, like as if they were building a pipeline the way our engineers do. And we have them do that with like, tubes and little wires and everything. So they have a fun time doing that. They learn how to do a squeeze off to sort of prevent a leak. So they do those sorts of things. So that's what we do in the Introduce a Girl to STEAM Day. We also are going out in Richmond is having Mission Tomorrow, which is for middle schoolers. And we bring out our bucket trucks, and we, have the same, so we do the same squeeze off. It is a madhouse, but we do that same kind of, the squeeze off experiment, and we line up people to come in, and so they can learn about that. So we do that up here in Richmond. We do Mission Tomorrow, and down in the Suffolk area, we do Worlds of Work. Same thing, middle schoolers trying to learn that, and then, like I said, for the high schoolers, we do the Youth Ambassador program.
On the mic with Mike, Jennifer is here with us, Columbia Gas of Virginia, talking about all the amazing things that happen at their facility, in their organization, and the impact that they have on the community. What other events do you have coming up, ma'am? So be sure, if you have trouble paying your bills, now's the time. Do not wait. You'll be back again in October, November, saying, folks,
that's right.
The clock is running.
And LIHEAP is starting, and please, that's right. So I definitely will be back, and I'll be telling people about LIHEAP. But people should contact us now. The time is, if you're struggling, please do contact us.
So how do we get a person who wants to be a part of the ambassador program? How do they go about that?
You mean if they have a young person
Yes.
and they want to get enrolled in the Youth Ambassador program? I suppose they can contact you, and I'll put them in touch with Nicole, because we're not taking Youth Ambassador again. Their program just finished. We start recruiting them, I think, in the May time period, for to get a job, to get an internship for next summer.
Alrighty, Jennifer Montague is here with us on the mic with Mike. How can people reach you, ma'am? They can reach us basically at columbiagasva.com, or they can call our 800 number. Can I circle right back to 811 day, Definitely.
which is tomorrow? I want to really reiterate that I want to make sure that people, if they are digging or doing any projects, that they make sure that where they are, that they have the 811 come out, that they mark the lines, that they put the lines down, and that once those lines are marked, that they only hand dig down to 24 inches or 2 feet within the width of that utility line, because we really, really want, so only hand dig. So no, if they're doing a big project, putting in a patio, putting whatever, if there's a line, if they've called 811, the line is marked, they really can't, take a big backhoe and dig, because we want to make sure that people don't end up hitting those lines. So we want to make sure that those lines are marked at least 3 days before that work is supposed to occur. And that they can contact us. 811 is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So they can contact us anytime. So I really want people to realize, I didn't get around to contacting 811. It only takes a few seconds, but we really want to make sure that people do that if they're doing any digging projects that could potentially hit lines.
Last year, your team came out and we talked about 811 day. Very important, like you said. Don't be so quick. Just take a moment. It does not take long.
That's right. Right. And if you have a contractor doing the work, make sure don't assume that your contractor will have just called them. Ask your contractor. Hey, you're putting in place, whatever people have going on, but you're putting in place something. Please make sure that you are, putting that in place.
On the mic with Mike, Jennifer, she has to go. Her schedule is tight. And her phone is ringing because I know who that is.
I'm sorry, Stephanie.
Exactly. Exactly. On the mic with Mike, Jennifer, thank you for your time. Thank you for being a sponsor of the program and supporting us. Anything, folks, they're doing some amazing things out in the community. Columbia Gas of Virginia. Thanks, folks. Take care.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike King back, Jennifer's back. Some things are so good, we couldn't let it go by. We could not. We'd be, as they say, my preacher sister and cousins, I'd be remiss if we didn't get to this. Ma'am, what did we miss?
So the one thing that we missed, and I want to make sure people know, is if they need to contact 811, they can contact it on va811.com. Again, if they want to learn any information about 811 or they need to contact 811 because they have a big project that they're digging, please contact va811.com, or they can contact columbiagasva.com/811.
So folks, do the responsible thing. Don't take chances. Call or get with 811. Thanks. Now take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Honor Mike King here, coming to you from the Mike King Biz Call Federal Credit Union Media Center, powered by Icon Realty Group. We coming to you from high above Henrico. What we do is we talk to the best and the brightest people out there who are making a difference in the community. The gentleman next to me, Kevin May, I met him here, and so for people to know, and I got a whole bunch of the Philadelphia things here, and they're like, where are you from? I'm from Philadelphia. And he said, oh, I got ties. And then I said, I'm from North Wales. So for folks who don't know, and I always say, Philly? Yeah, but I'm not from Philly. Have you ever heard of Lansdale? And they say, yeah, well, I'm not from Lansdale. I'm from the little town right before it, the one-stoplight town, North Wales, Pennsylvania. And there used to be a church that we would go to on Friday nights, Calvary Baptist, and that was the best time. The gentleman right next to me has history there, so we have that. He's also an entrepreneur, a man who's seen and done a lot, and we wanted to have him on the program. So welcome to the program, sir.
Hey, good to be here, Mike. I'm glad that you invited me and excited for the day.
All right, so tell us who you are, what you do.
Yeah, my name is Kevin May. I am the founder, owner of Business Actuators. It is a coaching business where we really help businesses between that $1 and $10 million range scale. We find that there are individuals that have grown businesses, but they're hit a plateau. We just help them take their business to the next level.
And so sometimes you had said the business owner may be the problem in the situation.
Yeah.
If they're $2.5 million, how do they get to 5? They're working 8 days a week, 29 hours a day, and they're there, but the price that they're paying for it can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Because their hands are on every piece of it. And that's where they bring you in. What is an engagement with you? Because you had said you work with people over a long period.
Yes.
You're not, this isn't a strike force coming in.
No, it's a 1-year commitment is really what I'm looking for. We meet once a week for an hour. That's it. But I always say, you get that hour commitment, but you also get my cell number. So there are times where individuals, we go through the lessons. It's a system that I've invented. I've trademarked it, and it works. But they also have my cell number. There's times when these individuals will call me late at night and say, "Oh, my best guy just quit," or my whatever, and I walk them off the edge and really help them through there. So it's a process, but there's an emotional connection.
So you had told me, so you're in the trades. That's where
a lot of my people.
A lot of people are in the trades, and so we're in a technology world now. And AI is the rave with everything.
Yes.
I hear people saying that we're going back to the trades. We're going back to people knowing how to do things. So touch on that right there, because a lot of people you're talking about, they didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I want to be a plumber. I want to be a contractor. They are different people than me. So back in, and I hate to be like the old man, but back in the day, there was a couple different tracks. There was the Votech track and then College Bound.
Yes.
We kind of looked down on the folks who went to Votech.
Yeah, many times.
Now, when the plumber shows up, it's scary.
It's a serious business.
Because you never know. You kind of figured something good is not going to happen. So now we're looking at technology is there, but it's still that service thing. So they grew up maybe working for someone. They had the one man, it was them doing, and they had their name on the truck. Then they get 5 people. Now they have maybe 20 people. But now, and they have, in places, things in place, but they can't get to that next level.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly it, Mike. And what happens is that the skill itself is still, I'm going to call it simple. It's difficult in the fact that there's a lot that they have to know. There's a lot of codes and things that are a part of, putting a plumbing system together. And it's not just slapped together and glued together. They really have to know how it drains, how it vents. There's a lot there that goes within that trade and skill. But where I can also come in, we talk about AI. AI can help them estimate projects. We can actually now take a picture of a house, bring that thing in, and show the customer what windows look like. There's just so many technical advances that really bring the behind the scenes to life. It simplifies, but yet it also allows them to get more in depth. There's more training. You're not just showing up and saying, hey, I can fix your house. We show up now with these 3D models that, that this is exactly what your bathroom is going to look like. And, oh, you don't like the blue? Let's change it real quickly to, to purple, whatever, and we can do that pretty much right on the spot. So there are so many advances there. And then even that, the understanding of finances and things. You don't always have to be an expert. So some of what I do is, yes, I help them, but also part of networking. We both network a lot. I can now, there are things out there where you actually call it like fractional work. We used to have to hire everybody for 40 hours. Now with the fractional model, I can hire a bookkeeper for just a few hours. I can hire an admin for a few hours. So there's different ways to build a business. And if you don't know that, you think that this is the way we have to do it, I can come in and show you simpler, better ways to actually model your business so that you're more productive. You can get out of the way, let other people lead and develop your business, and you can be more successful.
So how do you, all right, Kevin May is here with us. How can people find you out there, sir?
Okay, it really on the internet, it's Business Actuators. A lot of people say, well, what is that? If you've ever walked into a grocery store and that door opened automatically, that was a use of an actuator.
Really?
And it is where you take a simple signal and you cause a bigger thing to happen. And so what that means is that you walked up to that door, and whether it be a light, a sensor, something triggered, and it caused a big motor to actually open that door. So that's kind of a little bit of a play on words. That's an actuator. So I'm a business actuator. I want to be that simple mechanism that comes in to cause a greater change within that. So Business Actuators LLC.com is our website.
One of the things that we talk about, and we've both been around, there are some benefits to sort of being around, and it is seeing different business environments. Mm-hmm. When you look at it right here, and so for you're not just, you're Richmond based,
no,
but you're doing business all over.
Anywhere in the U.S., and I probably could go beyond that, but right now, anywhere in the U.S., I do focus on the East Coast, but really anywhere in the U.S., a lot of what I do is virtual. Not a lot of good came out of COVID, but being virtual is one of the things that we did develop. And so being able to recognize that aspect, I use virtual meetings a lot.
When you started the business, how long did it take before you thought of it to all of a sudden you started it? And then when did you realize you had something?
Yeah, that is one of those things where, Mike, I go back to my construction days, and I really shut that down in 2012. But at that point in time, I had about 700 subcontractors. I knew there was something, I'm going to say, wrong with the model of a lot of those subcontractors. Once again, very good at their skill. They were good plumbers, bricklayers, whatever they may be, but their business model was just horrible. That right there carried until 2019 when I said, I'm going to do something about that. And so it took me a few years. It's probably really been the last 4 years that I've said, I really got something. I am changing businesses. I change lives. And that's really, it took a little while to kind of get the mindset, but now I've got a model. I've got a trademarked program that I use for that year, and it's impacting businesses.
So on the Mike King, Kevin May here. You talk to a lot of people, and eventually people want to scale. They're going to have a problem. You start to see that same. What's the problem that they see? Now, you may hear it in the first meeting. You may hear it in the 10th meeting. But this thing is going to come up because it's prevalent among business owners. What's that thing?
The thing that they really have to do is understand that they are limited in what they can do as a business owner. They can, they start out, they're the person.
Yes.
And then they even grow it. And that's where the growth model comes in, where they're almost making every decision, or every decision is coming through them. And even if they say they're delegating, but it's still, I want you to do this. And they really need to get to the point where it's like, I didn't even know that happened. And that's when they begin to scale. When they've trusted their team to begin to make decisions that they don't even know it happened, but they trust that person. And so that's the difference between being that solo to being a growing business where you're involved in everything. When you begin to scale, you really have to get out of the way and let the people that you've hired, sometimes they're even better than you. You hire people that aren't the same or less, where you can show them. You hire people that are better than you in various aspects of your business. That's when you'll begin to scale.
So my parents always owned their own business, and they did very well. And it was like, I always joked and say hustle. My dad, he was a hustler and all those things. And it was only until I got here and I met Art Espy and Brian Anderson. They were on the show and they were talking about scaling. Even though my parents did well and it seemed like we had money, we never really went anywhere because they were
tied to the business.
They were tied to my mom would leave from church and she'd go, and it's all businesses across the board, whether it's dry cleaners, daycare centers, all those, and bars and nightclubs became something that became really big for them. My mom leaves right from church and going to the nightclub to clean up. And so I start thinking, and they're like, you can only hustle to a certain point.
Exactly.
After that. But you can't tell hustlers that. You can't tell a guy or woman who's always had their hand on everything to pull back. It's uncomfortable.
It is it's a hard conversation, but those are the conversations that I have with those owners. I want them to understand. One of my greatest success stories happened just 3 years ago. The lady contacted me. We had this good conversation. She was ready to quit. Been in business 9 years, ready to just throw in the towel. We worked together for a couple of years. I don't actually work with her now, but last year she went on a 4-week vacation, left the business, left people in charge, didn't take her computer with her, and her business thrived while she was away for 4 weeks. To me, that's success. She tripled her revenue, but yet she is allowing that business to run. So when you have those hard conversations with those owners, it's tough because it's their baby.
It is.
And it's like me walking up to you, Mike, and saying, hey, give me your car keys. And you're like,
Okay, let's not get carried away.
I'm not going to do that. And it's like, I'm just taking a trip to California. Give me your keys.
That's it. And you're like, no, that ain't happening, sir. Thank you very much.
So you have to build that confidence. You have to build that trust. And then I began to work with those owners, have those hard conversations, show that we start from the very beginning. I mean, I call it a mission, vision, value statement. Where do you want to go? What is your mission? How we start with the foundation and we work all the way through. And through that 52 weeks, that trust is developed. They see where they need to be, where they need to sit, building teams that really are there for them. And that's when you really see that business scale.
One of the sponsors of the program is Icon Realty Group. And I was talking to Robert Jones, shout out to Robert and Katina Jones, about that part of the business. And they said they went to Florida to scope out. They were doing some business. They liked Florida, and they went and they bought a condo. And they said right when they get there, COVID happened. They said we were stuck there for months. And I said, what came out of that? They said we realized that the business could still run.
Yeah.
If we were not there. So that was the lesson that was learned. So when the person says, I can't, when the person would be able to go on vacation and not have a nervous breakdown because I don't have my phone getting every notification of every sale, of every phone call, it makes it tough. So that's where you're coaching people through. What's it like when the light bulb comes on and they get it? Because that idea, give me my car to go to California, let's not get carried away, man. But all of a sudden, unwillingly, Kevin, we're going, hey, you know what? Have a good time. Let me know. I'll see you when you get back.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where I sprung that on you. Normally, it would be, you know what? I need to go get coffee. Can I get coffee for you?
Yeah,
I walked here. Can I use your car? And you might even hesitate to even say, I'm not sure if I want you to go to Wawa,
Exactly.
But we have to get to that point where you understand that I'm really helping you out. I'm not just in it for me. I am really helping you out. And so we walk through all those conversations. And once sometimes it might even be, let me go start it. I'm going to go start your car and we'll get the snow off of it this winter. And when you come out, you're going to have a warm car. It might even start with that. So it's very basic, a lot of conversations, but it does develop into a lot of trust. And then next thing you know, I've got in your car and I'm heading to California.
And I'm not overly concerned because I know and trust you because the relationship that we built. So a while back, a group came in and it was folks from EO Richmond, and we had a good conversation, and we're talking about business owners. And he said the person who gets you to 2 million may not be the person who can get you to 10 million. Okay, so what happens? Get to get everybody has a person. Now you got to change people. That one wasn't easy for me because, so what do we do with me who got you to 2 million? What happens? Do you just discard me? Like, hey, Mike, thanks for coming. See you later?
No.
So have that conversation to help the business owner. Says the person helped you get here. Maybe you might have to make a personnel move, or something may need to change to get you to the next level.
Sure. Yeah, those are, to me, it's trust and qualifications. It's one of those things where sometimes individuals have really never experienced that, and they're trying to, they maybe have the training and things, they've taken a course, but they've really never ran a business. And so what I try to do is find that individual that has, yes, credentials, but they've actually done it and they can take you to that next level. So what we're looking for is, how big do you want your business to go? And that's a vision. And a lot of times I'm projecting 10, 15 years out, and we don't always know what's happening, but that gives you a little bit of a sense of where they're going. Once you understand where they would like to go, that then allows you to match up yourself with an individual that one has the experience, has that vision capability, and can really take you to that level. So an individual that has maybe gone to 2 million, they've worked with people that maybe have ran a $2 million business. If you're going up to 10, 60 million, that's a different ballgame. That's a different scope. You're working with people where there's capital investment. There are things where, you have to worry about teams. It's not just 5 to 10 people. You're maybe talking about 50 to 100 people. So you have to worry about HR. You have to worry about there's different set of rules, regulations that you have to know about.
And part of that one is working. So you see the electrician, the tradesperson, they started, but they grew up in the business. And sometimes they know what they know. Everybody who's a great baker doesn't need to own a bakery. So a lot of times we put it on a person who has in the trades. But I've talked to professional, whether it's a lawyer, a dental, a dentist, a doctor, all of a sudden they're like, they taught us, like, when did you learn the business side of it? What day was that class? We didn't have that class.
Exactly.
So now they're in there doing their thing, but they don't know how to run the business aspect of it. So that's where a person like you comes in. So it just doesn't matter that whatever type of industry it may be, people need to have a person to help them, because we're working in the business. We're putting out fires here and there. Opportunities are going by.
Yeah.
And we miss them because, and some of the fires are self-inflicted.
They are.
We can do that as entrepreneurs.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes it's just what you don't know.
Yes.
And sometimes because you're so much invested in the business, you forget to look at the forest versus the trees. It's that, have you ever said, hey, calling out to your friend or somebody, have you seen my blue shirt? And where's it at? It's actually right there in front of you. You're just not looking at it. And they walk over, reach up, over your shoulder and say, oh, you mean this shirt? Yes, that shirt. So what happens for me a lot of times is, yes, I'm training, I'm teaching them. There are things they don't know. But a lot of times it's the fact that because I'm coming in it from a non-emotional perspective, looking at their business, I can see things that they're looking right at and just missing.
Because you are not emotionally involved. Do you know, like every restaurateur swears he's an Italian restaurant and says, if I took you, nobody runs my business. There's no one. You're up on it. So you see it that way. If I dropped a Greek chef in your restaurant, they'd figure out how to make this thing work.
Absolutely.
But you have to have some tough conversations with people.
I do. Yeah. So it's a matter of really letting, once I understand where the business owner wants to go, I will even question that at times. I had business owners that say, I think we ought to go this direction. And it's like, well, what makes you unique then? Why are you not, that's like every other plumber. What makes you unique in the plumbing business? Once they figure that out, they figure out where they're going to go, then that's where I come in and I say, okay, now that I know where you're going, where you want to go, let's put a path together, make that clear. And we get on that journey and head that way.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin May, one last time, sir. How can people reach you?
It's businessactuatorsllc.com. Takes you to our website. There's forms and information on there to be able to get in contact with me. I always say it starts with a coffee. So whether it be virtual or not, we just have a simple conversation, getting to know each other, and see if we can work together.
Shout out to our days back at Calvary Baptist Church, Lansdale, Pennsylvania. That was a time. You talk about like yearning for the good old days. Explain what that was really quickly, to our viewers.
Calvary Baptist. I was getting my master's, and I was a part of an internship. And Mike and I were kind of talking earlier. It's kind of funny. We used to call them like preacher boys and things like that. But it was a Friday night program where we would pull people from the area in several hundred youth, teens, and we would have, once again, not politically correct today, we called it the war,
Yes.
But it was a competitive, fun activity. We'd bring them in, a little bit of preaching, but then
you guys gave us a little bit of the word, for sure. But you kept it kind of short. The fun, we had some fun. The food was good.
Yeah.
And it was right in front of the high school that I went to, North Penn High School. And there would be kids coming. I said to them, when you're younger, you don't realize how big. I just know it's big. It would seem like a couple, 200-300 kids would be there on a Friday night. That was the place to be.
It was an exciting time. It was a fun time, and we were. I'm glad we impacted your life. I mean, that's to me that once again is the exciting thing, that that yes, a lot of work putting that thing together. We seemed like a lot of fun, but now years later to say, what, it was fun.
Right, because you never know the impact that it had. So you're there as one of the guys who would be shepherding us around. Come on, you guys, get in. Get in here. We would have a church service. It'd be on like the basketball court. And it was, so we're in there. We're 14, 15, 16 years old. You don't realize that years later, maybe 40 years later, we're like close to 50 years. Like I was in there, and I said, you said North Lansdale. I'm like, I went to North Penn High School. And when you said I was there, it took me right back to Calvary Baptist. and the fun that we had there.
Yeah, no, that was fun. It was a different day, a different time, but it was definitely a way to impact young people, gave them something to do, productive on a Friday night, had a lot of fun, and I'm glad to hear that it did impact at least one individual's life.
And so it impacted our friends. So for our friends, we're going to cut this clip out for our good friends over at Calvary Baptist, going back to North Penn High School class of 78. Thank you for what you guys did at that time. On the mic with Mike, Kevin May. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mike King here, coming to you from the MIKEKINGBIZ Icon Commercial Real Estate Group, called Federal Media Center, high above Henrico. You can follow me on all the social platforms. On the mic with Mike, as well as MIKEKINGBIZ. What we do is, we moved, but a friend of the family came back. We don't even roll out the good stuff. Jill's here anymore. Just she comes in the side door because everybody knows they know we all use the side door. Jill Chickowitz is here in the building. So, I mean, you're just a media darling.
I don't know about that, but I think we're really blessed to have a lot of support.
That's what we're here for. And her awesome nonprofit, which is To End the Stigma.
Yes.
We got the studio, as they say, we have a plethora. You see you right there?
I was just seeing that.
There we go. That's right. Jill Chickowitz up on the Wall of Fame.
I was looking because I was like, if he does not have a
I got you right there.
I'd be so mad.
Thank you, Jill. All right, so tell us who you are, what you do, and we have some things coming up that's important.
Awesome. So good morning. I'm Jill Chickowitz. I am the founder and the CEO of a nonprofit called To End the Stigma. And I tell everybody the two is the most important reason why I do what I do. I lost my twin brother, Scott, to fentanyl poisoning in 2017. Which is wild because you and I have been connected literally since day one.
Yes.
And a lot of people knew that in the beginning, it's still a passion, the pain to passion situation. I took this very seriously and I realized if it's happening to my family, it's happening to everyone. And it's really important that we use our voice and we keep talking about it. In particular, youth. My boys are always with me. They're my youth ambassadors. But, it's the stigma that I really think is killing us. So we just really need to talk about it in order to save lives.
There you go. And the gentleman on your right, you have an event coming up. What's got happening?
So I'm really excited. This is our first annual. So everybody knows, we have a night for Scott. We have a golf tournament. We have Save a Life for Scott, community days. This is back to school for Scott. So last year, a few people have asked me when their kids were going to college, can I get Narcan, also known as naloxone?
Okay.
So it's a reversal for an opioid overdose. And so a lot of kids do not realize, and adults, that it's a nasal spray. It can save your life. It cannot hurt you if you're not having an overdose. It's like Afrin. All you do is spray it in the nostrils. We wanted kids to be armed with the information on Revive training, but also give them Narcan to take to school. And even high schoolers, families, everyone needs to come out. It's completely free to the community.
There you go. And what's the date on that?
It's this Wednesday. So it's 2 days from today, August 5th, 4 to 7 p.m., Roundtree Clubhouse in Midlothian, and that's 3800 Graythorn Drive.
There you go. And the gentleman to your right?
So my good buddy Steve that I am connected with now is coming out to support DJing, but he also supported my Night for Scott this year without ever meeting me. We just had mutual friends, and I guess Maria Hall from the John Marshall, yes. And she connected us and kind of did all the work, and he just came out to support without even knowing me.
Sir, when Joe Chickowitz shows up in your inbox or slides into your DM, you never know what's happening. That's exactly
always pay attention.
Exactly. Because she is out there doing some amazing things, and I always talk to people about it's not what you know. You say it's who you know. Forget that, or who knows you. So clearly, folks at the John Marshall.
Yes.
Because you've taken your talents on the road. All right, sir, tell us about your business.
Well, I'm Steve Anderson, owner of Blendmaster DJ Services. I have approximately 17 DJs across the state and in Maryland that I deploy out to do weddings. We mainly do weddings and all kinds of events. We did a special effects for her event. People are coming into the Dominion Club.
I saw it.
I had the cold.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, I never knew I needed those in my life. They were amazing.
When we walked in, we're like, All right, Jill then took it to another level.
You've arrived.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's what I try to focus on with my company. We try to take it to another level when we do events for people. And I donated that to her event because I really wanted to help out. And I'm donating my DJ services this Wednesday. So people come out, make sure they have a good time, get down, have a good party.
So you know our good friend, shout out to our good friends over at Icon Realty.
Oh, I do.
Group.
I'm doing something for him next week.
Shout out to Robert Jones.
Robert Jones.
Even though you and the missus are out there, I don't know where you're in Bimini or somewhere laid up, but I see the pictures. Your man is in the building. So you guys got the collegiate thing going on too.
Yes. Well,
kids.
Both of my sons went to collegiate. My youngest one is at Bridgewater playing wide receiver right now. Yeah,
There we go.
So
got some football players in that's all right, Jill. Run down the list of things. So you're having the community. Today is back to school.
Back to school for Scott on Wednesday.
Okay, what's next up? You always got something.
But you
got a crew.
I do. So a lot of people don't realize my whole organization is run by volunteers alone. So people are there because they want to be. Either they have a personal connection or they have an empathetic heart. Either way, or they just want to raise that awareness and save our community. A lot of people know I do national work, but I focus on Central Virginia because we're grassroots. I want my community to benefit. So a lot of the schools run prevention, education in the Tri-Cities. I'm really focused in that area right now. But we also have 6th annual Fairways for Scott, October 19th at Dominion Club.
There you go. How can people help twin a stigma?
So we love our volunteers. My mission does not run without volunteers. We're still looking for sponsors. People want to play in the golf tournament, or if they just want to come hang out with us. I always feel like you kind of learn just by osmosis, right? If you're at any of my events, you either meet someone you didn't know, or you learn a fun fact that you didn't know, or you get resources that you didn't know were available and you save a life.
There you go. Steve, how can people get hold of you guys?
Just hit us up on anything on social media. DJBlendMasters.com is the website. I'm on Instagram, DJ Blendmasters, on Facebook, Blendmasters DJ Services. And we do everything. We don't just DJ, photo booth, AV,
the whole experience.
The whole experience. We do everything.
So when I talk to people, you've been doing that for 17 years. I always ask entrepreneurs and business people, when did you know you had something that you could scale?
25 years.
That man said 20.
See this shirt right here?
Yeah.
See this shirt right here?
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's a plug right now. It's a plug. I'm about to plug.
That's right. 25 years.
25 years. I'm having a 25-year gala at the John Marshall. With Spinderella is going to be the DJ this November 21st. 25 years, my company started in 2001. Me and my best friend started DJing in my garage. I started DJing at 15 years old. I picked it back up. My wife said, "You need a hobby. You need to get some other stream of income."
And it turned into something.
And it turned in. I retired from UPS 4 years ago to do this full time.
That's cool.
Okay. So now a person has a dream. How do they make that dream come true? Everybody has a dream.
Laser focus and just focus on what you mainly want to do. I DJ'd. I used to be a music producer. I cut everything else out and focused on what I wanted to do, DJing. And when I focused on that one talent that I could do, it spread.
How many years were you in before you realized I got something?
I would say, I'll be honest with you, 2015, when I started getting these great big events, I did this big, the IPAC 15 at the convention center. It was like 1,000 people all over the world. They called me. Well, after I did that, I knew it was special.
When people start calling you, that's something different instead of you making a call. So, Jill, like you said, we've been rocking for a while. You turned it into something fairly quickly.
I did. So I think the first year when I had a night for Scott, everyone says, I was supposed to do a one and done. I just wanted to raise, because, we have the Scott Zabrowski House at McShin. We have the Scholarship Fund. We have Scott's Corner at the Recovery High School. A lot of people don't realize we have the first Recovery High School here in Chesterfield, the first one in the state of Virginia. Mm-hmm. We now have 3 more opened. Loudoun County, Waynesboro, and Virginia Beach. We're creating Scott's Corner and all of those. And so what Scott's Corner is, it's a mural, it's snacks, it's hot chocolate. It's a time for these kids that are in recovery. These kids were 14, 15 years old that have already gone to rehab. They're just trying to get their high school diploma. The nice thing is you want to back them up to say, listen, you hit a bump in the road, right? You did. Something happened. We all make decisions. Things happen, but you can get back up and you deserve a second chance. So we support them and say, your community's backing you. We want to see you thrive. They are the next generation. My children are the ones that are going to take over when we're all retired. So we want them healthy and sound and good and just having good morals and good ethics and just support their community too.
Like you say, when you take it to another level, each time it's gotten bigger.
I know. So next year is...
But this last one, when I rolled up and saw the fireworks, I'm like, man, this is crazy. So, and then they cut it off for a second. Yeah. And people are like, yo, like, what happened? They're like, it was coming back. But that set the tone of what people expect for first class. Because you always win those. What is it? The
best charity event. So I will say we did step out of it this year only because we've gotten either first or first runner up for 7 years. Wow. And I feel like best charity event in Richmond. There's so many great charities out there. Mine became a point where it was not a popularity, but where just people were like, I'm going to vote for her because I know she does this. Other people need to showcase. We need to show that Richmond has a huge charitable organizations, a lot of great people doing really good work. So we kind of we bowed out this year, but we're supporting the other ones that are in the contest.
Go down through some of your sponsors. The sponsors make things work. So change the world ain't cheap, easy, or free.
I am lucky to have some of the best sponsors. So Estes, Carol Williams has always been a big sponsor. Channel 8 has been a corporate sponsor since day one. Richmond Times. Yes. And this year, so at our Narcan training, Star City Behavioral Health, they are coming out to do the Revive training and giving Narcan completely free. So they've become a big sponsor. Kona Ice comes out now all the time. People just jump on the bandwagon, I think, because we are making impact. Mm-hmm. You are seeing the numbers go down. Virginia is actually leading the charge in the whole country of overdoses coming down because of our work.
A lot of times, folks, it's you meet people through somebody else. I'm sitting there minding my business. I get a knock on my window. I look up. Turn into my business bestie.
Yeah.
Anna Soden, that's my partner.
Networking, right?
We do a ton of things. She said, I'm a friend of Jill's. That was it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we do a ton of things together. On the mic with Mike King, ESPN Richmond, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. That's where you find us, 10 to 12 a.m. 10 a.m., 12 p.m., Saturday, 6 a.m., ESPN. Make sure you support these organizations. One last time, sir, how can they get the Blend Masters? Did I get it right?
You got it right.
25 years.
DJ.
Exactly.
DJBlendmasters.com. And if also, I want to give a shout out to Girls for a Change. That's an organization I'm on the board with, and they are part of the charitable fund that I'm trying to give to for my gala, Girls for a Change by Angela Patton.
Angela Patton. So one of the things is, we had Holly Bird Miller on a couple years ago.
She's on the board with me.
Yes. And so I was having an event, and the whole room, as an interviewer, sometimes you set people up, and you know what the answer is going to be. So I asked her in front of a room full of people, Holly, what's a nonprofit that you feel closest to and totally on board with? Everybody knows what the answer is. Her husband runs MBL. She looks up and says, Girls for a Change.
Nice.
Everybody looked like, what? We have been expecting you to say MBL.
All right.
But you guys made the magic happen. The girls went to Africa. Did they get back yet?
No, they're not back yet. They'll be back soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they went to Ghana, and they got stuck in New York.
I saw that. I saw the plea. I definitely saw the plea.
Yeah, they got stuck in New York, but they had a bunch of donations. We put it all over Facebook. People helped out. They had to rebook their flights.
Oh, wow.
And they finally got over there, I think, about 3 days later.
I saw a friend of mine, Soleil Lindsay, is over there showing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Showcasing us amazing things with Angela Patton. And she would say,
she's awesome.
Yes,
She's cool.
Getting black girls ready for the world.
And the world ready
exactly. That's
the world ready for black girls.
That's the part. Angela Patton. We got to go. These folks got stuff to do.
I'm glad I've just met Jill.
I know. We have so many people in common, and we're like, how do we not know each other?
That's true. All right, Jill. So we're going to bring your crew in.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we go back so far that they were normal size.
They weren't supersized kids.
Exactly.
They were like regular.
One of the things I've finally learned out of all of this and the price of success is never give up your dreams. Never have somebody tell you you can't do it and it's not possible. And when somebody tells you all those things on your resume aren't true because you'd sound like Superwoman, guess what? We are.
This is the night that 10 years, 15, 20 years, you're going to be looking back and saying, I was here. There's an inflection point happening in technology. We get to lead it, and we get to lead it right here in Richmond.
We must prepare existing workers, students, and communities to be able to use AI so that no one is left behind.
The real story isn't AI itself. The real story is what AI makes possible. AI is the new keyboard. It's the new mouse. It's not the answer, it's the instrument. And the more people we hand that instrument to, the more possibilities we turn into realities.
People want to be together when you're making a difference. How can we make Richmond, make the region, and in part, all of Virginia, the most AI ready? A lot of people ask me, do we just want to be the Silicon Valley of the East Coast? The quote everybody keeps on having me re-ask is, no, my mission is for Silicon Valley to be the Richmond of the West Coast.
Well, good morning, greetings everyone, and welcome back to Conversations That Matter with Lynn Lewis. I am your host, Lynn Lewis, certified grief educator and suicide loss grief coach. I am also the Chief Empathy Officer for Destined to Thrive Grief Coaching Services. So I appreciate you all being back with us today here in the MIKEKINGBIZ Call Federal Credit Union Media Center. I have with me today my friend Clarissa Law. Clarissa, will you introduce yourself to our audience? Just your elevator speech.
Yes. Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. My name is Clarissa Law, and I am a trauma-informed counselor and life coach. And just brief, I am the CEO of Purpose by Design Coaching and Consulting, as well as the founder of Lifelines to Success, a nonprofit organization where I provide community programs to families in the community. And I'm excited to be here today.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here with me.
Yes.
So as a grief educator, you may be wondering, what do I have to talk to this young lady about? Well, as I always like to do, is to remind our audiences that loss and grief are not exclusive to death. So loss is anything that you no longer have access to, somebody or something that you loved, that you cared for, that had great meaning to you. And grief, in its simplest terms, is the emotional response or reaction that we have to a loss. And so today, Clarissa and I are going to talk about relationships, the loss of relationships, and mostly from the standpoint that those relationships with persons when they were still alive.
Yes.
And one thing you'll hear us speak of today are close relatives. And so many times I've learned through this as a grief educator, so many times people will say, well, that's your mother, or that's your father, or that's your sibling, that's whoever that biological family member is. You need to make amends. You need to be the bigger person. You need to apologize. You need to show up for the dinner, the party, the wedding, the funeral, because that's your family. Where I am now of the big age and have enough experience to say, you know what? Self-love first. And self-love is a topic for another day. But self-love, how you unapologetically put your self-being, your well-being before anything else. And so Clarissa and I today are going to talk about just that, relationships and how grief shows up in relationships. And Clarissa, as we were talking earlier, I mentioned that my mother-in-law recently passed away just last week. And for the past 38 years since I've been married to her son, my husband Keith, we had a great relationship. until the last maybe year or so when her health began to decline. And I found myself grieving that relationship because we were the mother-daughter-in-law that we had lunch together. I went to her house without my husband. One time I had the key to her house and he didn't. So we had, we had an excellent relationship. And even after she her life began to change and she needed some help with some things, I gladly took her to the grocery store, whatever she needed. But then the last year or so, as I mentioned, she really became, needed assistance with living. And so that changed her mental status, her attitude toward life. And I really grieved that. I think I grieved that more than I'm grieving now that she has taken her earthly leave.
Yes.
And that's really a thing. That's really a thing.
Yes.
The other thing I did too was that there came some points in this past year that I said, I'm not going, or I'm not going to do it, or I'm going to put the boundaries here, that because I got to take care of myself. And for those that have just joined us or just getting to know me, I experienced the traumatic death of my son 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that changed me forever. But Clarissa, this is not about me today. I want to hear, it's about us. I want to hear about you, and because we've had conversations before, and you agreed to talk about, and you've written about your relationship with your mom or the like of the relationship. And you also talked about how you became a parent, a mom at the age of 16. 15.
Yes.
So talk to us about how that affected, or did that change your relationship with your mom?
So just to start off, it never was a good relationship. As I got older and looked back on things, I understood the trauma or the experiences she had that caused her to treat us the way that she did. And that's a whole other show. But when we talk about the grieving, because that's what we're talking about, grieving in relationships, living relationships, I realized that I was grieving my mother for many, many years before she passed away. And so that grief looked like, I wish you just talked about having, going to lunch and shopping and things like that. And I always wanted those things with my mother, and they just never happened. And I would push, I would, try, hey, see me, can we do these things? But they were never good experiences when they happened. But then her health declined, and so she wasn't able to do those things. But I found that just every time I was around her, she was picking at something, and so we talk about grieving. So there was a time when I had to say, you know what, I'm just not going to have that relationship with her. I have to settle in myself. I keep trying, I keep pushing, but I'm not going to have that relationship with her. And so I had to make a decision when we talk about setting boundaries to say, because this person causes me so much pain, I have to separate myself from them so that I can heal from them. And we talked about a little bit earlier how so many people say, but that's your mother, that's your family, and you should this and you should that. I don't believe that. I believe that no matter who that person is, that is the source of your pain and your inability to heal, right? We take those things and we put them in other relationships, and we become these things in other relationships because we haven't healed from that. And so I believe that it's okay to separate yourself. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna go today. I don't think I'm gonna be around her today because I needed to strengthen myself. And so that's what I had to do. I had to do that. And so the good thing about all of it is that I was at a healed place when she passed away, because I don't know how I would have felt. I remember saying to myself when she passed away, well, I guess I'll never really know if she liked me. Yeah. But I was grateful that I did the work and the healing prior to her passing away.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Clarissa, with your relationship or like thereof with your mother, how or did that adversely affect other relationships with other family members or, with workplace?
Yes, yes. So my growing up in my home and the relationship with my mother, it made me feel like I wasn't good enough because my mother didn't see me. My mother didn't hear me. My mother didn't listen to me. My mother didn't give me advice on how to be a woman, how to live this life, And so that made me, I tell people I live my life by trial and error. I do it. If it works for me, I keep doing it. If it don't work for me, then I don't do it anymore. But it made me feel like I just wasn't enough in relationships. I'm always trying to get my mother to see me. I'm trying to get her to like me. And so you get to the point where you say, well, if my mother don't like me, how can I really trust that somebody else genuinely likes me, or even to trust anyone or to depend on anyone, right? So it has affected me in so many ways, and being able to tie it back to that and then do the work, do the work to say, okay, you don't have to hold on to that. You don't have to be that person. But it really did affect me in a lot of relationships. I felt like I had to be perfect with my parenting. My house was perfect. You had to fold the towels in the washcloth a certain way, put them in the closet a certain way. You had to do everything perfect. My kids had to present perfect, but it was never good enough for her, And so just being able to be healed from that, right? And being able to just be me.
So that's good. That's good. So I know that you work with younger ladies, teens, and young adults.
Yes.
When you have someone that come to you with similar situations, how do you just give them some tips to get to a healed place, help them get to a healed place before they are, in their 30s and 40s and on up?
So first, I think it's important to try to understand that person. That was something I did with my mother. Like, who are you as a person? And she went through so much. I also think it's important that your healing is your healing. You can't expect that other person to be ready to heal when you're ready to heal, right? I'm ready to move past this. So one of the things I try to tell young people is, who do you have in your life that you can depend on, or that you can look to be that figure? Honestly, I tried to be that person. I tried to be the person that I didn't have growing up. And I just encouraged them to, I have a saying, redefine your pain, right? Like, you might not be getting this, and this, but what is it making you? What is it making you? It's making you this strong person. It's making you this person like, okay, I gotta get it done for myself because I can't depend on this person, but not to the point where you just don't trust anyone, but not staying stuck in it. I think that's really the big thing. It's like, because so many people 30, 40 years old, and I can't do this because my mother was this, and I can't do that because my father did this to me. At some point you have to, I say have to, but I'm in your own
encourage
time.
You to
encourage you to move past that, because that's what I described. Yes, for yourself. That's how I described it. I said, I can't be like this. I'm ready to move forward in my purpose, but I'm still trying to hold on and get answers back here. And when I realized you're not going to get that, you're just not going to get it. And I had to release it, and I had to move forward.
And it's kind of like traveling, you're moving forward, but if you're taking everything with you, the weight gets heavier and heavier, and you're dragging stuff, and
it takes you longer to get to your destination.
It takes you longer to get to your destination. If you're just joining us, I am grief educator Lynn Lewis here with Clarissa Law, and we're talking about how grief can show up in relationships, particularly when the persons are still living. Clarissa, I know that you've written, authored, and co-authored a couple of books. So tell us about one of your books. You share your story, some of what you're telling us today, right?
Yes.
So let us see your book.
Yes. So in this anthology, so in this anthology, I share my story about healing from motherhood. And so the title is called It Used to Be a Wound, but Now It's Just a Scar. And that's a conversation. Healing from motherhood. So I'm just going to read an excerpt from here. So I'll start here. How is your relationship with your mother? Have you ever found yourself feeling angry when you hear other people talking about their great relationship with their mothers, and you are left only wishing for the same? Well, I'll tell you my story. I struggled for many years longing for a great relationship with my mother. That relationship where we shop, eat, laugh, and love each other every day. Unfortunately, I never had that kind of relationship with my mother. What I had was an emotionally absent mother who found every opportunity to let me know she didn't like me. I'll leave it there.
Yep.
You gotta get the book for more.
So, Clarissa, before you tell our audience how they can reach you and work with you and whatnot, the question just left my mind. The question just left my mind. Okay. All right. Maybe it'll come back. But tell people how they can work with you, how they can get your book, and
Sure. So you can follow me on all things on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I just started a YouTube channel.